What's up YouTube, dubkdadone, Team DKF, pro tips for BKs, becoming competitive. This is going to be a multi-part series, and basically I got the idea because after watching a couple of Silent Enigmas videos, and then reading some of the comments posted on this video, there are people who really want to be competitive, and maybe they understand how to get there, maybe they don't, and they're just struggling. So I want to make this series to kind of explain some of the concepts that are sort of like steps to get you there. People have this misconception that it's about money, you know, and sometimes they think that you have to travel, and those are not all necessarily true. Being competitive, you know, for one part is a state of mind and patience, and in this internet age and microwave age, people just do not have the patience to go that route. So hopefully this helps you guys. And to start off, first of all, I feel that people need to understand why some decks are very competitive, why you see them overrepresented at large-scale events, why you see so many people running the same deck, why those same decks top consistently, etc., etc. And we'll just start with the most recent example, Tech Genesis. Now, Tech Genesis has like everything you can ask in an archetype to be competitive. One of the main things you have to understand when you're constructing your decks and you're trying to be competitive are these really simple concepts. When you build a deck, you need to understand that you need to understand the meta, and you need to understand, okay, there's a lot of destruction in the meta. These dark hole, torrential, by battle, etc., etc., etc. So you need to include cards in your deck that can withstand those interactions and will allow you to maintain advantage, or at least keep up with your opponent. And that first part leads to floaters. Now in a TG deck, their synchro, Wonder Magician, as well as the regular monsters, Warwolf, Rhino, Striker, are floaters. Now, what is a floater? A floater is a card that once it's been played, when it leaves the field, in a certain way, it replaces itself. So, say I only had this one card and I summoned it. I have no other cards in my hand. When this is destroyed, it replaced itself. So in effect, I lost nothing. And that's basically what a floater is. All these cards do that. With Wonder Magician, she allows you to draw a card. But, even though you took 2 cards to make her, after she's completed her effect, she evens out there. So you eliminate a card from your opponent's side. That's 1 card. And then when she dies, you draw a card. So the 2 cards that you use to synchro with, they come to the field. 2 cards from your hand. Now she hits the field, destroys a card your opponent controls. That balanced out one of the materials that you use for them. And then when they finally kill her, you get a card back. So, that's the concept of a floater, that more times than not, you even out what you invested in the play. Something else that competitive decks have in common, another thing people don't understand, are either battle phase tricks, and this deck has Horn of the Heaven, destruction or removal. This deck utilizes TG1, EM1, and if you look throughout the history of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, all decks have something like that. Lightsworns have Honest, Black Wings have Collude, that's their battle phase trick. Black Wings have Icarus Attack, Lightsworns They have Celestia, this monster removal. They have JD, and so those are the things you have to understand. So just to recap, competitive decks generally run cards that float. They run cards that they run monster removal, and generally some type of battle phase trick. Now, in addition, they also run spell and trap removal, and the generic removal, MST, Dust Tornado, etc. But again, TGs have Wonder Magician, and again, like with Black Wings, they have the Icarus attack. X Sabers, they have Hyunlei. Celestia can be used for monsters or spell and trap removal, and that's why those decks in their time or even currently are competitive. So this is part one. We'll go to part two next, and hopefully you guys can follow along.